All right, so let's start with the big story that we're tracking on WION this hour, where former U.S. President Donald Trump's lawyers opened their defense at this historic second impeachment trial. Now, the lawyers argued that the article of impeachment before the Senate was actually unjust and it was blatantly unconstitutional act of political vengeance. And they also went on to state that the Senate, therefore, should promptly and decisively vote to reject it and acquit the former president.
The criminals at the Capitol weren't there at the ellipse to even hear the president's words. They were more than a mile away, engaged in their pre-planned assault on this very building. This was a pre-planned assault, make no mistake, and that is a critical fact.
This impeachment is completely divorced from the facts, the evidence, and the interests of the American people. The Senate should promptly and decisively vote to reject it.
Now, the former president's lawyers argued that Donald Trump did not incite the 6th of January rally crowd to riot at the U.S. Capitol, and his speech telling the supporters to fight was merely rhetorical. It was a figurative form of speech. They also argued that the trial itself is unconstitutional because Donald Trump is not even in office, and that the Democrats' true aim is to, in fact, remove him from the political scene altogether. The defense lawyer Bruce Castor said that the trial is about far more than President Trump. It is about cancelling 75 million Trump voters and also criminalizing political viewpoints. They've called the case against Donald Trump a political witch hunt by the Democrats, and therefore it was not a valid one because he simply is no longer in office. A video footage at the heart of the impeachment manager's case showed the crowd in the Capitol hunting down opponents of Donald Trump's defense lawyer David Scorn mocked the video as an entertainment package, while Democrat impeachment managers rested their case after 2 days of presentations, and Trump's lawyers wrapped up their case after just about 3 hours. Now, many of the arguments that were put forth by Donald Trump's defense lawyers drew several eye rolls from many of the senators on the Democratic side. The impeachment team had argued that Trump had deliberately stoked national tensions after having lost the re-election bid to Joe Biden on the 3rd of November. On the 6th of January, it staged a very fiery rally near the White House, calling on the crowd to march to the Congress and to fight like hell. All right, now to give us more updates in terms of what actually happened when Donald Trump's defense lawyers, in fact, took center stage, we're joined in by our correspondent Rachel Silverman, who joins us live from San Francisco. Rachel, thank you very much indeed for joining us in this broadcast on WION. And let me begin by asking you this. What are the arguments that are being put forth by Donald Trump's defense team in the Senate?
Trump's lawyers delivered an incendiary but brief defense of the former president. They called the House's charge that he incited an insurrection at the Capitol a preposterous and monstrous lie, and that's basically their defense. They're saying they channeled the former president's own combative style, and they embraced the same falsehoods that he's embraced, contrary to facts. They say that he never glorified violence during his presidency and that he consistently called for peace as the rampage at the Capitol unfolded. They also curiously showed 10 minutes worth of video clips of Democrats urging their supporters to fight. That was to ostensibly to counteract the Democrats' assertion that he had told the rioters to go to the Capitol and do just that. He told them to go to the Capitol, to walk to the Capitol, and to fight. So these defense attorneys are essentially trying to rewrite the narrative of his campaign to overturn the election and also of his entire presidency, where he spent quite some time the last few months warning that it would be a fraudulent election. That's the big lie. He felt that he was going to lose, and so he started that lie and continued with it still until this day.
Right now, what is the buzz within the Republican circles? when it comes to the crucial vote. Joe Biden, in fact, referred that there could be a change of heart for some of the Republicans and they may actually decide to vote against Donald Trump. Is that something that is likely to happen? Because the Democrats, to in fact get this motion to succeed, need 17 Republicans to break ranks. Is that likely at all to happen?
It is possible, but it's highly, highly unlikely. And you can see that the Republicans are feeling confident in that they only used about 3 of their 16 allotted hours for this argument. Republicans are going to be caught between their disdain for Trump's behavior, and there are many who have quite a disdain for his behavior, and his fear over, and their fear over his hold over the party. And they'll have to balance those two to see if Trump's defense attorneys have given them enough cover to justify an acquittal.
Now, at this point of time, Donald Trump has been suspended from all social media platforms. It's never been the case that we don't know what the former president was thinking. But in this, it appears that there is almost a sort of a blanket silence surrounding Donald Trump. Do we at this point of time know anything at all as to what Donald Trump is thinking about this entire proceeding in the Senate? For people outside of the United States, have any media channels spoke with Donald Trump where he's expressed his opinions on this entire proceedings within the Senate?
The former president has not spoken. We've seen some pictures of him from afar playing golf. We understand from sources that he was very unhappy with his defense lawyers as the trial opened, and there was a shakeup in the defense lawyers. What we'll hear tomorrow is from the defense lawyers, who will say that the president did absolutely nothing wrong. And from the prosecutors, we will probably see them coming down hard on what did the president know and when did he know it, particularly what did he know about the danger to Mike Pence's life. And they will hit hard on what appears to have been a wanton disregard for the vice president's life. They will say that a failed coup without consequences becomes a training exercise, and that's really, that's really the message that they'll hit home on. But this is not the end for President Trump. If he's not acquitted, then he will certainly face some other consequences.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Rachel Silverman, for joining us and getting us all those updates there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.